What's up, guys? Billy Carson here for Bit of Knowledge. I thought this was a pretty cool filter. That's why I decided to use it, because it's kind of dark where I'm at. So this actually kind of lightens it up a little bit. But yeah, I rarely go live on this account, but I want to go live right now. I want to tell you guys, man, don't let any of these quote-unquote conscious accounts or conscious people or woke people ever tell you that you can't live a happy, successful, a financially successful life in the third dimension. Don't let them trick you into believing that because you're woke, you got to be broke and you got to wear tore up clothes and tore up old shoes and you got to ride bicycles everywhere like they're trying to tell me. Don't listen to that garbage. Don't listen to that garbage. Our mission is to bring heaven to earth, and you're supposed to walk in full abundance 24/7, 7 days a week, nonstop. I manifest abundance everywhere I go, non-stop. Manifest abundance. I expect abundance into my life. Now, whatever that abundance means to you, to me, abundance means being able to help people. But to help people on the level I help people, I have to be financially stable. I have to be financially equipped to do that, because I help people with tens of thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands, not $100, not a $5 GoFundMe payment. Tens of thousands of dollars every single year, well documented. So in order for me to do that, I can't be out here, working at a company and making, $10 an hour. It's just not going to work for me. But like I said, whatever abundance means for you, if that means buying pizzas on Saturday and taking it to the homeless people, having that extra money to be able to do that, whether abundance means that your relationship is sound and working properly and everybody in your household is happy, whatever abundance means to you, that's what you go for. But keep in mind, don't let people try to tell you, or don't get in the mindset of thinking it's okay to be poor and broke. Because if you're poor and broke and you're telling people that you're supposed to be using the law of attraction to manifest your things into your life, and you can't manifest your bill payments, and your light bills are getting turned off, and your water's getting turned off, and your car's getting repossessed, there's a problem. You got a problem. There's a serious problem. You're not utilizing the energy and the source energy and the divine energy that's already within you. If those are the situations that you're getting caught up in, you really need to seek some assistance and some help. You need to read some self-help books. You need to read some financial books. You need to learn how to do goal setting. You need to learn how to put plans of action in place for short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. You need to look into alternative modes of investing. You need to analyze your budget and figure out where you're wasting money that you could take and invest into yourself. Those are the things you need to be doing. But don't get tricked out here. I'm telling you, don't get tricked out here thinking that because you woke, you got to be broke. Don't fall for the garbage. These people out here, they want to see you do good, but never better than them. Never better than them. Remember that. They want to see you do good, but never better than them. Okay? So, like I said, man, you got to know how to operate in this matrix. We're in the matrix, and this matrix is deadly. You got to know, you got to meet force with force. Why do I move the way that I move? Because I'm a person in this third dimension that has a mission to plug in with power people. Because you see, you can't have a revolution on this planet with a whole bunch of people sitting in robes on prepaid cell phones making Instagram posts. I mean, it's just not, I'm just keeping it real. It's not going to change the world. You got to be able to plug in with power people. You got to be able to flex a little bit and attract people into the system, into this conscious system that we're trying to create to revolutionize the world. I got to attract people that have in key positions of power. People in athletics, people in government, people in entertainment, people in all different areas of life, all different walks of life, but that are in power positions. Power positions. So when we say go, we need this done, we need that done, we need to make this happen. Things happen. The matrix bends to our will. Not I'm sitting, I got a $8 an hour minimum wage job, and I got this beat up junker, and the best that I can do is muster up enough money to give a guy a free sandwich. I mean, bless the guy, don't get me wrong, but I'm on a world changing mission right now. I'm not on no give a guy a $5 sandwich mission. Just, you got to have people at all different levels. You're going to have people at the bottom level helping out, and you got to have people at the top level helping out. I'm a top level guy, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not ego. It's just what it actually is. And if you think you're going to change the world with everybody being poor and broke and being woke, then you're disillusioning yourself. You're wasting your energy. You're wasting your energy. So, like I said, guys, I'm telling you, man, don't get caught up in these tricks out here with these I call them gypsy tricks. Don't get caught up in these gypsy tricks. You got poly tricks for the politicians, the people following the poly tricks, and you got the gypsy tricks. Those are the fake woke people. They want you to do good, but never better than them. As soon as they find out you got a little something, they get angry at you. Don't fall for the tricks. Guys, manifest abundance. Start your own business. Start your own companies. Invest in yourself. Buy real estate. Okay? Find ways to help out your family. Find ways if you're a musician and you got all this music that you've been producing and you don't have anything on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, your music is still sitting in your computers, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get that music. Don't contact me anymore. Stop contacting me. Get your music and go to DistroKid, go to TuneCore, go to InGrooves, wherever you can go, and put your music in distribution. And don't put out one song every month, one song a year. Put out 100 songs, 200 songs, 300 songs. As fast as you possibly can. And get them all going at the same time. And watch you start making $2,000, $3,000 a month. Not a lot of money, but you could take that money now and reinvest it into something. I got 120 songs in distribution. That's a check. Every month I'm getting a check. You see? Stop playing games. If you're smoking weed and you don't have any kind of PTSD, cancer, any kind of pains, stop smoking weed. Take that money and invest that money into a business. Stop smoking weed. You don't need it. If you don't need it, don't smoke it. Take the money and invest it. I know people spending $500 to $800 a month on weed, and they don't even have no sickness. It's a waste of money. Take that money and invest that money. Okay? If you have kids, save up enough money to get a rental property. Now, take all that rental income, and so when your kid gets to be 18, they have money to work with. They can start a business. If they decide that they want to go to school, it's up to them. If they want to go to school, whatever they want to do, now they got money to do it. Okay? That's what you got to do, guys. You got to set your family up the right way, man. You guys got to make power moves. Stop getting in this mindset. Oh, I'm conscious now. It's okay to be poor. I'm just humble. I'm just a humble being. No. Look up the definition of humble. I don't think you're going to like the definition of humble. The definition of humble is like a lowly person. It's like you're beneath the gutter. Okay? You got to understand what that word means. You got to understand. You can't get confidence confused with ego either. Because like I said in my live the other day, if I decide to play Michael Jordan, if I take the challenge to play Michael Jordan, you best believe that I believe I'm going to beat him. Period. That's not ego, that's confidence in myself. Now, are the odds against me that he'll beat me? Yes. And I'll lose? Yes. But if I take the challenge, I guarantee you in my heart of hearts, I believe I'm going to beat him. Period. Or I'm not going to take the challenge. You see? So if you take the challenge to start a family, why are you going to get into a fight, into a battle? Because that's a battle. Starting a family is a battle. That is not easy. Listen, I raised 5 kids and I got 2 grandchildren. So I'm not talking off the top of my head. I know what I'm talking about. 5 kids raising in this world, and they're all grown adults. Nobody's locked up. Nobody's in jail. Nobody is on drugs. Okay? My oldest daughter is 27. Still don't have any kids yet, engaged. My oldest son is 28, 2 grandchildren. My other daughter's 25, no babies yet. My other son is 23, and my other son is 19. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. You're going to take a challenge to create a family, and then don't supply them with any means. What are you doing? You took a challenge with no confidence. You got to leave something behind for everybody. You got to leave something behind. You got to leave a legacy. You got to find a way to break this cycle of suffering and begging. At some point, somebody got to step up. So don't get mad at me because I stepped up. I came from underneath the gutter. I came from underneath the gutter. You talking about where I came from? The crossing guards would rob you on the way to school. Holes in your sneakers because we couldn't afford shoes. I would put cardboard in my shoes to keep my feet from touching the street. One time I had to wear football cleats because football cleats were on sale for $2.99 at Kmart, and I had to wear football cleats to school as my school sneakers and get laughed at every single day. Pants too small because I outgrew them so fast my crotch ripped open, so I would have a hole in my crotch, so I would always have to sit with my legs closed so nobody could see my underwear. Then when I got a little bit older, I got some more pants, and those I only had 2 pair of pants for the school week. So you know what I used to do? Bleach them at night, turn them back white again. I used to get the 79-cent pack of dye from the grocery store, Winn-Dixie, and I would dye them overnight to a different color. The next day I would go to school with a different color pair of pants, and by using that method, I would have at least 3 or 4 different color pair of pants every week. So it looks like I had more than 2 pairs of pants. Okay? You know, these are the kind of thing. Eating Cairo syrup and toast for your whole meal for the day. If school was out, summer school, summertime, or winter break or whatever, Cairo toast and syrup. You only can get when you got the food, I got was when I got to school. Yeah. That's the kind of money that I grew up with. So I made a guarantee to myself. And so by the time I turned 12 going on 13, I started selling newspaper subscriptions for the Miami News. Became the top newspaper sales subscription person. Took all that money, 100% of it, and invested it into electronics. And I started an electronics company at the age of 14. I was making more than my parents by the age of 15. And by the age of 16, I already moved out of my house. I had 2 cars, an apartment, and still graduated from high school and still ran my own business. So when I see these people out here, they can't do this, and I don't know how I'm going to get this done, and I can't figure out a way, and I don't got no time, and I'm out. Excuses, man. I came from underneath the gutter, man. Underneath the gutter. Underneath the gutter. Period. Okay? The Roads That Grew from Concrete poem by Tupac, that's me. But I'm not the only one that can do that. Everybody can do it. It's inside of everybody. Every single one of y'all can do that. It's just a matter of if you want to. And sometimes people go, well, I don't know what to do. It's called research. Now, you guys see, when I was growing up, I had encyclopedias, dictionaries, thesauruses, real books you had to go pick up from the store, from the library. So I would go to the library and study. If I didn't go to the library, I would go to the bookstore. In 1998, I met somebody in a building that I was living in, an exchange student. I had a healthcare company that had just started a little discount healthcare program. And this guy, he says to me, I was an Arabian guy. He says, I need to do an internship with a business to build a website. I go, well, what is a website? Remember, this is 1998. I said, what's a website? He said, well, it's a marketing piece for your company that's on this internet. I said, well, what's the internet? I mean, this is how new it was. At that time, I think there was only 20 websites in existence or something like that. All the major, IBM had one, a few other companies. They were just really simple one-page sites. There was no high-speed internet and all this other kind of stuff back then. I said, sure, man, let's go. Let's do it. I went to this guy's house, started giving him the information. I sat over his shoulder while he literally created, with HTML, a website for my company. I watched everything he did. I was like, wow, this is incredible. This is the future. I then, after he left and got done with the project, he went back to Arabia. I went to a Rent-A-Center, and I got a $19.95 a week computer, $19.95 a week, Packard Bell. I used to call it a Packard from hell. It was a 2-gigabyte hard drive. Used to crash all the time. Connected it with AOL dial-up, and started an internet company, .com marketing group, from scratch, zero. How did I learn all the coding and programming? I used to go to the bookstore and read the books at the bookstore. Don't buy them. Take my little notes, come home, and duplicate it at home. And then I said, okay, if I can create a website for a nice website template for mortgage companies, this is something that they will love. It's like a permanent ad online. I don't have to put any products. I don't need any SKU numbers. All I need is to change the colors, change the names around, change the contact information, and some of the interest rates, and I'll be good to go. So what did I do? I got out the yellow. Say again, yellow pages. There's no more. Back then there was no cell phone data and all this Google search. Get out the yellow pages. The real thick book. Cold call. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My name is Billy Carson with .com Marketing Group. I'd like to talk to you about getting a website for your mortgage company. Call all day long. I would pitch them, set my appointments up. Thursday and Friday, I would go out to these appointments that I set for myself and sell them websites. Saturday and Sunday, I would make the websites. And I was making $8 to $10 grand a week doing that. $8 to $10,000 a week. $8 to $10,000 a week. Then after I got some people working for me, I doubled it, then I tripled it, then I quadrupled it, turned it into a multi-million-dollar corporation. Then I took that company and I sold it to a company called Bench Systems, who was doing Amber Alert type stuff on benches. And then that company eventually sold to the Amber Alert system itself. But either way, I cashed out millions of dollars. So you see, guys, don't let this concept of being woke, you got to be broke. Because from the time I turned 14, I was out there getting what I needed to get. You got to play in this matrix. Don't be disillusioned thinking that you're going to get out here in this matrix and suffer. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer in this matrix. Don't believe the craziness. There's no need, there's no reason for you to have all the power that you have, all the knowledge that you have consciously on how to manipulate the matrix. And then you out here, you can't pay a light bill. You can't pay a water bill. You can't make a car payment. There's no need for that. There's no need for that. I ain't saying you got to go out here and be a multi-millionaire, but your needs should be met with ease. There should be no suffering. There should be no anguish. There should be no calling up relatives and begging and asking for money. Shouldn't exist. Not if you're really on the track of being conscious. Abundance should flow to you instantaneously. Anything you need, boom, magically, there it goes. And you should have the intuition to recognize and realize when opportunities are arising in your life so that you can jump on those opportunities. And you got to be a visionary. You got to be able to realize what's coming next. What's the next thing? And if you're trying to figure out what am I supposed to do with my life? How am I supposed to make money? I don't know what I want to do. The first thing you got to do is you got to find a need and fill it. And to do that, first you got to find something that's a passion. So you can say, okay, I like this thing and I can do it really well. Now, if I find a need for this thing, I can make money with it. So whatever it is, whatever that passion you have is, if you have a passion for drawing, okay, you have a passion for drawing or making art. Now you say, okay, well, I'm art. Either you need to perfect it and get better at it, or if you're already very good at it, now you need to find out what need is there for art right now. Well, there's a huge need for all these conscious accounts that are really trying to get a lot of good graphic content for all these pages. And there's millions and millions and millions of clients right there that you can tap into if you can create good graphic art. Okay? If you can do good graphic art and create and give an account, an influencer account, a good brand look, you got an account. Now you got somebody in your resume. So the first one you do them, you do them for free for like a few months. You give them a test run. Say, hey, man, I'm gonna set you up for free. I'm gonna go ahead and create all your art right now that you need for the next 3 months. And if you like it, you got to bring me on board. You got to pay me. Now meanwhile, you got a good account. You found an account with 200,000-300,000 followers or whatever. Now you got a good account on your resume. Now what are you gonna do? I'm just telling you what I would do off the top of my head. This is something I'm branding. Now I'm going to start contacting other accounts. Look, I got so-and-so account with 300,000 followers. I'm doing all the graphic art. Look at how I branded it. Look how consistent the branding is and how people now, look how the increase in likes and follows and the increase in views. Okay, I'd like to bring you on board. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 1 month for free. Now you got 2 accounts, totaling 1 million followers. Now you go get another one. Now this one, the third one, you got to pay me immediately. I'm not giving you nothing for free. I'm just going to tell you, look, these are my 2 clients. This is what my fees are. Boom. You see? This is the kind of thinking you got to have out here, guys, in this matrix. You got to manipulate this matrix and beat it up. Find the loopholes in everything, too. Everything that's out there that exists, find all the loopholes in it. Find the loopholes in taxes. Find the loopholes in anything that's out there. Find all the loopholes. Dig into it deep. Find out how you can... Look, you want to... I'm going to give you a loophole right now. You want to build your credit up so you can buy a nicer car, because car credit is very tricky. In car credit, what happens is you're only going to get a car for the amount of money of the last car you got on the average of the last car you got. So if you got your last car was $30,000, you're probably not going to get a car for more than $30,000. Even if you can make the payments and you can pay for a car that's worth $60,000 or $70,000, you're probably not going to get it unless you put a lot of money down. Well, this is what you do, guys. First, you start off with a small car. So you go get an extra car, a $2,000 or $3,000 junker. Okay, you put down about $1,000 or $1,500 on it. The rest you finance, and then after 4 months of making payments, you refinance that car, and then you now you have a paid off car. Then you go back and you double up on that one. You don't even need to drive these cars. Then you pay that one. You refinance, make a payment for four more months, refinance it again. Then you get another bigger car, and you keep stepping it up until you can get a big car. If you got a car worth $30,000, you can refinance that one. Get that now you can probably step up to a $45,000 or $50,000 car, pay that for 4 or 5 months, refinance that car, then trade it in before you get any negative equity in it for a car that's $80,000 or $90,000. Okay, you want to know how to drive an exotic car for free? I said, I'd like to drive myself a Rolls Royce. Do I want to pay $3,000 a month and out of my income for that, and then $1,000 for insurance? Not really. So I said, how can I get this car for free? What income source can I get to cover this? Well, I said, if I get this car, make it an exotic rental, rent it out for 10 days a month, that'll cover the car payment and the insurance and a profit, and the rest of the month I drive it myself. I just got to find a real reliable source that I know is going to take care of my car and has coverage with insurance. So I contacted an exotic car rental company, did a partnership deal with him. He operates out of the Ritz-Carlton in Naples. And I bought myself a Rolls Royce, rented it out for 10 days a month, and make a profit and make the car payment. So the car is free, and I make a profit, and I'm driving a Ghost. Come on, man. You got to play in this matrix, man. Y'all don't hear me, man. You got to play in this matrix. You got to dominate this. Because if you don't dominate the matrix will dominate you, period. Every single thing I do, I find a way to beat this matrix down and bend it to my will. Everything that I do, I'm seriously looking for an opportunity to manipulate this system. I'm manipulating this system at every angle, every possible angle. I'm not thinking inside the box. I'm not thinking go and get a job, and this is what my income is for the week, and now here's my budget, and with this budget, this is what I can pay for. No, that's not how I operate. If I want something new, I find an income source to pay for it, period. I focus on getting assets that appreciate. And the only time I get an asset that depreciates is if I get a vehicle, because I don't drink, smoke, hang out, do drugs, go to clubs. I like cars and watches. That's my thing. But if I get a really super exotic car, a very expensive, high-end car, sometimes I rent the car out or lease the car to a hot exotic rental to cover the payment. Guys, you got to think smart. You see, everything here in the system has you thinking it's a parameter that you got to go by. I don't see parameters. They disappear from me. They don't even exist. I find ways. I find a way where the people think there is no way. There's always a way. When you see, people thinking a cup is half empty, no, the cup is not. And then some people say, well, the cup is half full. That's supposed to be the positive way. No. The cup is always full. You know why? Because on top of the liquid, there's atmospheric gases. And so the oxygen that you're breathing in is a gas. And mixing with this oxygen is hydrogen, krypton, helium, argon, various other gases are mixing with what you're inhaling right now. And that gas is inside the cup too. So the liquid is always full. The cup is always full. My cup is always running over. There's no such thing as a half empty cup. You see? There's no such thing as sky's the limit, because the sky for me doesn't exist either. There's no sky. The sky doesn't exist. And this is the mindset you got to have. If you want to dominate this matrix, if you want to make money, if you want to take care of your family, leave something for prosperity, and leave your kids with something that they can rely on, so they don't got to be out there struggling and striving and begging and everything else, you got to find a way, man. And somebody got to break the cycle and stop, like I said before, stop falling for the foolishness from these gypsies talking about you got to be broke to be woke. And walking around stinking and raggedy shoes on and raggedy pants and dirty and riding bicycles everywhere. If that's what you want to do, do it. But if that's not what you want to do, don't think that's what you got to do. I'm just telling you, man. Don't be afraid to do what you like. Don't be afraid to be who you like. I'm telling you what, I'm going to live my best life 24/7, 7 days a week, nonstop. Okay? Nonstop. Because why? Because my mission is to bring heaven to earth. And I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven right now. I'm not going to wait till I die to live. I'm going to live right now. I'm not going to be out here walking around stinking and dirty and raggedy and everything else and not going on trips around the world, not seeing this planet so that people can think I'm woke. That's stupid. That's absolutely dumb. Dumb. I'm going to live now. I'm going to live right now and enjoy this life. And when my spirit separates from this avatar body and recycles back into the system, I'm going to come back and live again. And that's what we do. You see, I'm not going to be going through 5 and 6 lifetimes living poor and broke and suffering and agony and everything else. That's not me. I'm going to be like Thoth. I'm going to consciously incarnate at will. That's my goal. You see the mindset? The mindset for me is different. Not, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen when I die. I'm going to consciously incarnate at will. That's the difference between my thought process and a lot of other people's thought process. See, I'm a power person. I deal in power mindsets, power thoughts. Everything is power. Everything is power. You can't come weak with this universe. This universe does not operate. It doesn't recognize weak frequencies. It doesn't recognize low frequencies. It doesn't recognize weakness, period. What happens in the wild when there's a weak animal? There's your answer. What happens in the wild? The weak animals, they get devoured. If a lion is chasing a wildebeest, and as it's chasing that wildebeest, it sees off to the side an old sickly animal, it'll cut chase from the big, thick, fat animal and go to the old, decaying animal. It always looks for the weakest point. Those animals look for the weakest point. If you're a weak animal, you're gonna get devoured. If you gotta be strong, man. You guys gotta be strong, and you gotta be witty. You gotta be witty. And if you don't think that you're witty or you don't know these kind of things that I'm talking about, there's a lot of information out there that you can get and start researching to help you get on the witty level. There's no reason. We got smartphones. We got smartphones in our pockets. Everything you want to know is on YouTube. Everything you want to know is on these Googles and searches and everything else. In terms of, things, different ways of thinking. There's a lot of blogs and articles out there on different ways of thinking outside the box, how to create wealth, how to do the alternative ways of making money. All this stuff is available to you at your fingertips. So stop going, man, I wish I knew this. I wish I can learn this. I wish I heard about this, or I wish I could figure out how to make money and I don't know what to do. And there's probably 10 million articles out there on internet right now about alternative ways to make money. There's millions of them, literally millions of them. You have no excuse. What it is you got to stop being complacent. You got to stop waiting for things to fall into your lap. You got to stop begging and pleading and hoping things happen to you and go out there and dominate this planet, dominate this world, make things happen for yourself. Power got to meet power. You can't move weak. If you move weak, you're going to get devoured out there. That's all I'm just trying to tell you, man. I'm just trying to drop a couple tidbits on you guys, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I love y'all, man. I want to see everybody do good. I want to see everybody do well, everybody come up. I'm not one of these people out here that want to be the one on top and watch everybody failing. I want everybody to make it. I want everybody to, whatever your level of success in your mind you think is good for you and your family, that's where I want you to reach. And when you reach that, I want to applaud for you and I want to be happy for you. I'm not one of these haters out here. One of these haters that just want to see everybody, doing bad because they don't feel like they can do anything themselves. And as soon as they, like one guy was commenting on my post, I donated $12 million over the last, since 2004 till now, in money and revenue and scholarships and building YMCAs and sports centers and all kind of stuff. And that wasn't good enough for him because I had a Rolls Royce. I shouldn't have that. He told me I should be riding a bicycle. So the 12 million wasn't good enough. You see the mindset of the gypsies. I hate to use the term gypsies, but that's the only thing I can relate them to. You got to get out of that mindset, man. We are not going to have a revolution on this planet with a whole bunch of people thinking everybody got to be broke and poor. It's not going to happen. Even some people don't believe he existed, but I know he existed. Jesus Christ. His name wasn't Jesus though. His name was Yeshua. And he was never crucified in my personal opinion after all the research that I've done. But he was a very spiritual person, and he did travel the world. He went to Tibet to learn the mystic arts. He went to India to learn Reiki healing, and he went to Egypt to learn the ancient Egyptian mysteries. Okay, and he was teaching reincarnation. The story in the Bible is actually largely inaccurate. But regardless of the point, the point of what I'm bringing him up is everywhere he went, he manifested abundance. This is a man that had no job, no income, no money sources whatsoever, but he manifested abundance everywhere he went. He traveled the world, Everywhere he went, he had food, clothing, a place to stay. People rushed and flocked to him to give him whatever he needed, wherever he went. You know why? Power to power. It's a power play. When I walk into a room, I expect the same thing. I expect power. I expect people to come up and say hi to me and shake my hand. And I give them the same humble, hey, I appreciate you. But I'm letting you know, I feel my power. I feel my power. And you have to have that mindset. You got to know, like, hey, man, I'm going to get with you on your level in terms of greeting you and saying hi to you and hug you and everything else. But you got to understand power play. And when you have the power play mindset, everything comes to you. People will flock to you. People will come up to you and give you things. People will take care of you. If you need some help or assistance, people are going to look out for you. Okay? If I go on the internet right now and say, hey, guys, I need a graphic designer to make me 2 images for this project I'm working on as a volunteer, I'm going to have 100 people do that right away. And it's not because I got 1 million followers and all this other kind of stuff. It's because people understand power to power. They want to help out. They want to be part of power. And you got to understand that, man. So when you change your mindset from weakness to power, stop begging and hoping and be like, I command. I command that this need be met. I command that this opportunity be met. I command that this situation be taken care of. And then watch what happens in your life. Just like a snap of a finger. Just like that. Things are going to flip around for you. And you're going to recognize how much power you really truly have. Then it's just a matter of how you can control that power. Because, just like you have just like the Jedi, you have the dark side and, you have the good side. So you have to be able to control that. But I'm just telling you guys, you have the power inside of you. There's no need for you to be suffering, struggling, broke, poor. There's no need for you to have situations where you can't keep a car. You don't have any bus money. There's no food to eat in your house. All that should not exist if you're operating in power mode, in law of attraction, and in consciousness and helping people. I see something I do is I help people every single day. Every single day, I make it my business to do something to help somebody. Period. And I've been doing that for decades. Decades. So if I get myself a nice car or a nice watch or a nice house, you know what? I deserve it. And I understand that because see, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. And like I said earlier in my post, you got to take care of yourself because guess what? If you're on an airplane and the airplane's having some kind of malfunction and those oxygen masks drop down out of the ceiling, what they tell you in the beginning of your flight, the stewardess? What the stewardess say to you? Put the oxygen mask on first before you help anybody. After your oxygen mask is on and you're getting oxygen flowing, then you can help somebody. You understand that? Don't forget what I just told you, all right? Peace and love from Forbidden Knowledge, man. I love y'all. Later.